All right. Bank of Nova Scotia, BNS. I did a podcast, I think back in March 9th, and I had this entering stage 3. 3, right about here. And I have here's my watch list of Canadian banks. And this one has been popped on my radar today, really dropping. And compared to the other ones on the monthly count chart, you see here TD above 12-month moving average, Royal Bank of Canada above 12-month moving average, XFN above 12-month moving average, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, right, get that wick right there, right below 12-month moving average, Bank of Nova Scotia, the one in the worst shape compared to all of them, below declining 12-month moving average. I'm going to deep dive that right in a few minutes. Bank of Montreal above 12-month moving average. Same thing for National Bank of Canada. And this is the American financial sector, still below a declining 12-month moving average. So even after this furious pullback, banks are not doing super duper, especially Canadian banks. And if I were to compare performance of Bank of Nova Scotia, the bank, SPX, underperforming the SPX, if I'd be able to compare it to XFN, and you see it's underperforming the rest of its field. So if you want to short a candidate, an early leader in a downtrend in a monthly candle chart, and before this starts rolling over on the monthly candle chart, the whole sector, I put my eggs in the BNS, Bank of Nova Scotia, before. So let's do this. Let's see what is happening. Monthly defined breakout way below that. Monthly defined breakdown. It happened here. Top pattern broke down, starting having a declining 12-month moving average right there at this candle. Pull back up, wicks above that support and resistance, below declining 12-month moving average, not able to get out. This would have been good risk to reward entries right there. Then a big drop, creating bigger patterns, here's some more monthly defined support, now broke down, now became resistance. Down, pull back, closed above. Even there's some closer one right here. Remember, these are monthly candles. On the weekly, you'll get more details. And then you had that wick during February, but no, pull back down, and now we're still below a declining 12-month average. That's noise above. Remember, you don't want to go short if you have a close above the 12-month average, but right now, if you wait for the end of the month, we're way below it. Still below that monthly defined support, now turn resistance, so that's holding. So still in a downtrend for Nova Scotia Bank, guys. Okay, let's zoom in. So on the weekly, it looks a little bit better. So that pullback was really strong on the weekly. Even if we're still doing lower highs. Where's March 9th when I did this? Right above here. Okay, I had this entering the stage 3 right here. Lower highs, and lower highs right here. If we close the week on the red candle, lower highs right there. We actually had lower highs here, but now we had a higher high. So that was a lot of strength. This would have made you, as soon as you had to close above the 30-moving average, as soon as you're not red anymore, you would have exited here. You're back into a stage 1. And you're still in the stage 1. But I remember all those technicals that made you short, below the Ichimoku cloud, below declining 30-week moving average, below monthly defined support. When you start going up on the smaller time frames, you start knocking them one by one in reverse order. So lower highs, knock that one out. Close above declining 30-week moving average, knock that one out. But you still have monthly defined support, turn resistance holding up here. You still have Ichimoku cloud overhead. You still have some more higher monthly defiance resistance right here before you overcome these previous highs. So this is a correction, a strong correction within a downtrend, but you can't go short here. What happens, this resets the clock, and you have to wait for a close back below the 30-week moving average. You have to wait for the Mansfield Russell strength here to turn red again. You are underperforming the SPX, which is good, but you want that price action to close below 30-week moving average, a declining 30-week moving average. And if it does that, you could say this was a blimp during that downtrend, and you could resume shorting going down. But I'm not quite there yet, but I'm keeping an eye on it. The volume was decreasing on that pullback, and on those red candles, strong red candles. Here, green strong, a lot of volume here. But you see those red volumes always higher, mostly higher, crescendo here, red volume, with some green strong candles within that. But you see the red volume going up and then going down on the green volume, with some exceptions. Let's see if I got myself some divergence with a fast stock. And most likely when you have strong pullbacks like that and you don't overcome previous highs, you create some divergence. You did not have divergence here between those two highs. Indicator higher high. But if you go a little way back, right now this is strong divergence, which we're starting to consume right now. Lower highs, higher highs, going back within, not in overbought territory. And this could get consumed as we go down. This will get consumed. And then we're going to watch out, see if we make a lower low here. You'd want to see the indicator go even lower so you don't have any bullish divergence. And if you do, then it'll just get consumed. And as long as you don't make higher highs and the 30-week moving average keeps going down, you're still in a stage 4 decline. And then you'll be creating, just like you created Ichimoku Cloud defined support, as time moves on, you'll be creating Ichimoku Cloud defined resistance, stage 4 downtrend. I want to see if I'm still in the oversold power zone. Because remember, if you're here, you're in a stage 2 uptrend, very powerful. I could even highlight that with vertical lines. Right here, about when you go through halfway territory, usually right here, when you start going across, you're starting to be in a strong uptrend. Could move it even a little here. If you could combine that with the rest of the weight of evidence, horizontal breakout line, weekly stand triple confirm breakout, etc., you know you're on the good side of a trade. But when it starts going back down through the halfway mark, even here, you're changing, the trend's changing direction, and then you're going from a stage 2 to a stage 1, and when it starts declining, stage 3, and when you're here, you're in the power zone for a stage 4 decline. Trying to go back up. Here the power zone was a little above the oversold territory, but staying below the halfway mark. And right now, it tried to go back up here on the pullback, but if it goes back down in that power zone, we could have considered this a blip. And as long as the price action is below the 12-month moving average, you could be bouncing off these monthly defined supports right there. Here's a natural support right here, and I think I see some more right here. Previous breakout base, breakout support, resistance, now turn support. If I extend this one, you see it actually halted, slowed down that wick on this bigger base, important breakout line, now turn support. We actually bounce off that. So let's see if we're going to go retest that. If we go back after that to not quite sure, that's still still valid, But this could bounce in between here. Then if you break down, then you go step by step until it doesn't break anymore. Until it decides to, I went down far enough, and then you close above, and then you start skewing the 12-month moving average going up, and then you're back into stage 1, and then a stage 2, and you rinse and repeat. So BNS, relatively speaking, versus the sector it's in, it's the first one that I'm looking at as a leader to short. And if the whole sector can have a monthly candle close below a declining 12-month moving average, so let's say we get a wick here by the end of the month, or maybe next month, we're still doing lower highs, guys. The more time moves on, we're getting further and further away from doing higher highs. So that's not good. You're starting to build a trend, a downwards trend, and eventually the pressure builds up, and you can't stay above that 12-month moving average, and then you go down. So if BNS is a leader, let's see if the other ones follow, and this could be the embryonic bank within that whole sector that's going to lead the way for next wave down, guys. All right, that's it, guys. Keep an eye on Scotiabank and Canadian banks that might be rolling over. All right, ciao, guys.